Today, I'm going to crack my head. No. Today, I'm gonna break free from the constraints. Today, I'm gonna go through a fun exercise to help create more intuitively. It's put together by my good friend Tom Froese. It's sort of a way to create your own happy accidents to come up with more creative work. I'm excited to get into it, so let's get to it. Okay, this first exercise is supposed to just be a warm-up, just to help me loosen up and break free from conventional thinking. I'm ready to open my mind wide open. All right, so I'm supposed to draw some big shapes in the center of my document, and then we're gonna draw some smaller, irregular shapes around that. So we're supposed to start with a square. So I'm just gonna draw a square, because that's what we're supposed to do. Even though I'm supposed to be breaking free of conventional wisdom, maybe it's a trick. Maybe I'm not supposed to draw a square. We got a square, we gotta draw a circle, that, and then a triangle. That's a triangle. A cross or a plus, like that. And then looks like just an abstract wiggly shape. And now I'm supposed to just fill in the space around this with some more irregular shapes until it's all full. So just like come down here, wiggle like that. Maybe another one over here, maybe like a bigger one, like kind of this shape. Maybe do something that's like burp, burp, burp. Oh, I just drew a accidental gun. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, and then we'll just put a little loop like that, and then down here we'll just burp, 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 beep, beep, boop. All right, now I'm supposed to write my name in each of these shapes. That is a great way for me to warm up because drawing letters is definitely my comfort zone. Tom says it's okay to break the rules as long as it might lead to more creative outcomes. So I don't necessarily know what rules I might break doing this. Maybe I'll change the rules about how to spell my name or what my name is, but let's just get into it. All right, so I'm gonna start with the main shapes first. I don't know if that's what we're supposed to do, but we drew them first, so I'm starting there. Okay, not overthinking this. I'm just gonna do it straightforward for the square because it's a square. I'm gonna tuck my I under the P, and then boop, 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 boop. We got a circle. Maybe we'll use this shape to have my name sort of get bigger around it. Maybe do a little curl for the R. Maybe curve the P a little bit. Maybe we can lean into this angle situation and draw a lowercase a. And almost ran out of space, but we are okay. Triangle, how are we gonna deal with this? Maybe we will do some angle business, like boop, and stick the R like that. Okay, I don't know. The P, a little A there, and then a big S, C, I, K. We're supposed to be working quickly and not thinking about it too much. All right, what do we do for the cross? Maybe I'll just do like, because my first name is pretty short, maybe I'll do a little Chris up here, and then use the rest of the shape for my last name. It's already a problem, but I'm gonna do like that lowercase a to fix it, like this. S, C, I. Well, that's a turd, but it doesn't matter. We gotta just keep moving. I'm gonna draw blobby letters because I can do whatever I want. That's the whole point. I'm just freestyling in the shapes, doing this. It's gonna be a fun way to come up with a new logo too, because that's always the biggest struggle for me, how I use my name. I'm sort of in between two of them at the moment because I don't love either of them. All right, I guess we can move to the smaller ones. Maybe I'll do script for this one, except we ran out of space, so we're gonna just listen. Sometimes you get a turd. Maybe I'll do, like I'll start Chris over here, put my last name over here. I don't know. I wonder if I need to be more creative. When Tom did this, he was like going around the corners and like less warping the letters. So I don't know, maybe I should try that in some of these because that's not something I would normally do. And I think that's the whole point. Maybe we'll do it on this one. So I'll go Chris, and then I have to spell out my name sometimes. I'm gonna do script again here for some reason. Maybe we could boop. I'm gonna go like this, and then wrap this up like that. Then maybe like This one looks like bikini or underwear or something like that. See, HRI. All right, I don't know how to. This one is like a machine gun or something. Didn't mean to do that. Let's try to get more experimental with this one. Maybe make this R like that, and then the I, and then the S can be like that. It's like we got this P here, but I don't know, maybe we'll do that anyway. We'll do the P the wrong way. There's no, it's now it looks like a B or something like that. But listen, we gotta experiment at some point. P-I-A-S. Maybe we can like hint that that's the way you're supposed to go. Well, that's not gonna. I'll put this. I was gonna say I'll put the C this way to tie into the way the P is going, but then it could look like a U. This is chaos. Unless we do the C-I-K that way, and then it sort of. Listen, didn't work. Moving on to the next step. So these exercises are actually part of a Skillshare class by my friend Tom Froese. And it just so happens that Skillshare is the sponsor of this video. Did you know that Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives? There's so many classes on such a broad range of topics, from illustration, design, video, photography, music, productivity, anything you want to learn. And they are taught by industry leaders, people just out there doing amazing work, and then also teaching some classes to all the people on the Skillshares. When I first saw this class by Tom, I was really excited about it and wanted to try it myself, and thought it would sort of be perfect for a video where I go through the process and see where it leads me. And when Skillshare reached out about being a sponsor, it just was a perfect little situation. Gotta love that. As you know, if you've seen my other videos, I'm a big fan of Skillshare, and I'm also a top teacher on Skillshare. I've got classes on lettering, animation. I even have a class on how to make a profile picture less awkward by making some drawings on it. It's a weird old class I have on there, but I really think you should take this class by Tom Froese called Illustration Improv, because, I mean, you can see how much fun I'm having here, and I'm leaving out all the amazing little nuggets of information that Tom is shooting at us through the video. In addition to amazing classes, they've also got these things called learning paths, where they curate different classes that can go together to just like help you level up until you are the champion of the universe in whatever thing you're trying to learn. If you're also looking to level up your skills in creativity, I got some good news for you. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. Get started today. All right, for the next exercise, I am supposed to use these shapes to make some drawings of things based on a theme. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm worried about overthinking or getting stuck. I want to move as quickly as possible, so I'm going to keep my theme a little bit broad. I'm going to choose hobbies, pastimes that I enjoy. One of my favorite things to do is skate or rollerblade, and I also do track and autocross stuff with my car, and I also like bikes. So I'm gonna make things based on those themes. I guess the tie-in is wheeled activities, if you will. Okay, so with autocross racing, we're racing on a course and there's cones. So this triangle, we're just gonna make it into a cone. So let's come in here and draw the base, and then make it a little wonky because they get hit when people go off course. We got tire smears on it. Let's make this thing into a weird bicycle, maybe? I don't know. Okay, we'll stick a wheel here. Oh, maybe it's like a wheelie. Someone's doing a wheelie? Yeah, or this is a wheelie. So it's a back wheel scooting down here, and they're like leaning back real far, pulling on the handlebars. Oh, it's okay. We got that shape. They're doing a wheelie. That's pretty neat. Or maybe we'll do like 2 skates. How would that be if they were put together? They're gonna look really long, but whatever. So the wheels, and then this one. We just gotta keep moving. Holy moly. All right, we're gonna make this a weird bicycle. These handlebars, like that. This is turn that way so the wheel is facing that way, and then got the wheel over here. Boop, boop. That. And the seat. Okay. This could be a sweet jump, like that. There's that over there, and then there's like this is the landing over here. It's pretty neat. And there's fire. There's a fire pit. I don't jump over fire pits, but you know, there could be a fire pit. Don't tell me how to use my imagination. This is me in my racing helmet. What does it look like? It goes like this. You gotta wear a helmet when you're racing. You're going real fast. I have lots of stickers on my helmet. I don't know what they are right now, but it doesn't matter. But obviously, there's probably a skull sticker. Boop, boop, boop. This, and then put some sunglasses in here. It's always usually sunny. I can't remember if that's what my helmet looks like. I think it does. I guess it comes down like this. It's more flat on the bottom and then round at the top. Maybe this is just a racetrack, so we could just like this. Woo! There's people over here that are like, yeah, go fast. And some cones. This here is we're gonna draw a race car. Spoiler on the back. Boop. And this is a weird looking race car, but we gotta work with what we got. I guess that's just like a shadow. These right here this is a stair set. There's like a handrail to grind when skating. And this is like the ground over here. This is like a weird bunny rabbit with giant skates. So these are they're really big rollerblade. It's got the laces and then the buckle. It's a cool dude bunny, so it's gonna have these sunglasses. Kind of got its arms crossed because it's waiting to go. It's waiting for its turn. This is like a half pipe, obviously. It's a wood texture, got coping, a deck at the top. We're gonna draw someone doing a sweet grind on their skates. Come in here and skate, and then they're sliding on this rail, and they're like squatted down. Head is like this, and then this is their arm in a weird contorted position because that tends to happen. You could have this arm kind of bent over like this. I'm making a weird face. Yeah, okay. Oh, we got one more. Well, what the heck is this one? Maybe it's like a car with a really big dumb hood scoop. Like this. Giant hood scooper car. This is the worst car I've ever seen in my life, but listen, we had one more to go. But we filled the page, we did it, we're ready to move on. The next step is to take the shapes from these drawings and create some new drawings based on a new theme. A theme that Tom suggested was your worst job. So I started thinking about that. I've had a lot of jobs in the past, but I think the worst one was working at the deli at a grocery store. So I think I'm gonna do some drawings based on that. So first, I'm gonna come in here and isolate these shapes so that I have a new starting place. Okay, so for the next step, I think this is actually something that I was supposed to do in the previous one, which maybe would have made things a little bit easier. So before you just start drawing willy-nilly, you're supposed to brainstorm some ideas. So for this one, I am doing drawings based on my worst job, and that job, working at the deli at Stop and Shop. So I'm gonna do a little brainstorm sesh here. I'm gonna put a circle in the middle and put deli for the bad job, and then put things that I think of. I remember at the time I had long hair, so I had to wear this hat to keep it back, and sometimes if the manager was there, I had to also have like a net as well. Probably should have worn the net all the time. Sorry that I didn't. So hat, hairnet, put those together as one thing. One thing that sticks with me to this day is how particular people were about the thickness of slices of cheese or meat. I don't know how that's gonna translate into something, but there was at one point this menu thing. It was like a guide that had like different slice things so that you could choose your thickness. Speaking of which, people would be like, hey, can you put a cutting paper in between each slice? People are wild. There was like a giant crazy blade slicer that I had to use that I feel like was not qualified for. Disgusting mayonnaise salads that people like. Potato salad, egg salad. Egg salad is vile. It's wild to call it salads too. Like this yellow mayonnaise egg slop, and you're like, oh, let's call it a salad. It's not a salad, all right? It's disgusting. Freezer room. I used to go and like sit in there. Kind of doing something. Aprons. Apron, had to wear an apron, I remember that. All right, let's start drawing. I drew new shapes based on how those shapes were adapted for the last set of drawings. So now we're gonna use these to make some deli items. This is an apron. Okay, so we got the part over here where it's like tied up and then just sort of like flowing like this. And there's like a badge here and then just, you know, splats of grossness on it. Splatter. Okay. This is like the side profile of like a ham thing that's been sliced. So it's like, and then it's, you know, maybe have like I think that's all it is. And this sort of looks like a hat and it sort of looks like a face plant. So that's what we're gonna draw here. So we'll go like this, like perfectly a hat. How do we do this? And then it's got like the Stop and Shop logo on it. And then this is face plant. There's my ear. And then I did have long hair at the time, like this. My leg is bent over like this because I fell on my face. Listen, it's kind of chaotic now, but you know, I think it would have made more sense if I put the nose like that and then it's like, on my face, I fell. On the slippery floor. Okay, this is the prepared food bad pizza. Really greasy because there's lots of pepperonis on it. Bright red blood cancer pepperonis. This sort of looks like the slicer, maybe? Maybe this is like a ridiculous stack of cheese that has to have like a special wrapper in between each slice. Can you just like, you know, just like in between, every time you cut one piece of cheese, can you take a wrapper off the thing and then put it in there? Because, you know, they stick together. What if it's like a sandwich that's like falling apart? So it's like we got the top of the sandwich and then there's like some lettuce sticking out the side. Then like this is the bottom, but it's like soggy because it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. This looks like a hot dog. They did sell hot dogs there, so maybe it's like a giant hot dog on like a tiny bun. This kind of looks like me being mad at my job if I was Mickey Mouse. But maybe we can change that to look. Oh, I know. So like this back here is my hair in a hairnet. And then we can just like make this into a hat and it's just like the brim is sticking up a little bit. Maybe this is another version of me with my hat on. The reason I'm thinking that is because this shape up here sort of reminds me of like that dumb shape of the hat. Like it was one of those very unflattering hats where it had just like it was just like very tall. So the brim, like it was the 90s, so the hat brim was very curved. I remember the like boar's head was like the good quality stuff, and I think that was on the hat. I don't remember what it looked like, but some sort of boar. Maybe we can make this into the boar, and I'll try to draw it from memory. It's kind of a very serious, like sloth or something, but you know, it is supposed to be appealing, so maybe it's got a little grin. But this shape over here looks like a bone. Maybe we just make this into a piece of chicken from the fried chicken thing. So just there we go. And then we got this thing down here. Maybe it's just like a side shot of like cheese, and then this is like the wrapper. All right, we did it. Those are all the things. What's next, Tom? Tell me. Okay, so the next step is to choose our favorite sketches and refine them and try to make a set of 4 or 5 finished illustrations. So we're gonna go through each of these sets and then just like select the ones that we like the best and tighten them up a little bit. So let's go back to the beginning, the early days. All right, so I like this this wheelie guy. I wasn't expecting to like that so much, but I feel like it's a fun and dynamic composition. So I'm gonna just try to enhance it a little bit. So just sort of round this leg out, scoot that body back, and really just exaggerate. I think what I like so much about it is the exaggeration of this kind of leaned back position. One of the problems with being into something like bikes, for example, is that you have too much of an understanding of what the actual thing looks like, and it makes it hard to stylize because you know how it's like. For example, the stem holding the handlebars, it would be cooler if I could just make that a little bit more simplified and abstract, but it's hard for me to do that because I'm so familiar with the thing itself. But I think this process forced me to be looser with it, so I'm having to work within those constraints that were a natural result of the process. I'm not going too perfect now, I'm just refining a little bit. I kind of like the helmet. Bring this down a little bit, exaggerate that shape. Want to take anything else from here? I kind of like this wonky half pipe. Okay, pull that down, and then this. Then I just want to get more of like the side profile. Just sort of exaggerate it a tiny bit, staying pretty close to what I drew originally. You know what? I think those 3 are fine. Let's move on to the next situation. The faceplant one is funny, so I'm gonna try to make this work. I think the issue is figuring out how the rest of this looks. I like it that it just being all over the place, like it's just this dramatic crash accident. That's enough to get us to the next point. So turn that off, let's find something else. This portrait of me is funny, I think. That's not really how I would typically draw characters, but I guess that's the whole point of this. Can't not bring the pizza over. Really want to exaggerate the sloppy sogginess of it. Pizza is like a skull. There's an opportunity to draw it, I'm gonna draw it. All right, maybe pick one more thing out of here. What do we want? let's see if we can do something with this boar's head logo that I drew from memory that does not look like the boar's head logo. Maybe we can make it slightly less ridiculous in this stage and pull the ear up, because we don't need to be compromised by the chicken wing. You don't need to be compromised by the chicken wing is an interesting phrase that I didn't see coming up. I think what we can do now is review our inventory of items. Okay, so I narrowed down the slightly tighter sketches to this set. These are the ones that I'm going to refine and make final versions of. This is not at all where I expected to get to, but I think that's the whole point. So we did it right. So I'm just gonna go through these one at a time and make better versions of them. I'm gonna start with the faceplant one because that's the one that I still need to figure out a little bit and I'm kind of struggling with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on its own layer. I'm just gonna grab the selection tool and select it, copy and paste it. I'm just gonna move it into the center of my composition, make it a little bit bigger, and let's try to figure this out. Well, the issue is figuring out what this face looks like when it splats. I think the nose part makes sense, and then what does the mouth do? Maybe it's as simple as that, or it's just sort of like open, but kind of down to the side. I like the eyes kind of shut a little bit, just sort of dazed. And then maybe we can have some extra hair coming out like that. And then maybe we can make it look even more bent from the crash, what it would look like, I guess so. And then maybe exaggerate the humps in the hat that I was talking about, ear part, and then just maybe the hair needs to be simplified a wee bit, the neck, and then just some of these rogue hairs, a couple coming out the side. Then we can figure out the logo on the hat afterwards. I like that it sort of looks like the body is twisted there. This was a heinous collision. I think this hand not really looking like it's supposed to is good for this. And then this leg, and I want it to just be around, like not really worrying about how it would actually look. I don't know. Maybe they should just both be sort of collapsed down like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. And then, this happened because the floor was wet, so maybe it's like extra gross because they're like in a puddle. I know what that's going to be, so we can move on. My thought for the boar's head one was to like actually pull in the image of the regular boar's head logo and then like use that to refine this one, but like make it so that we have to stick to this sort of where we got, but like take some cues from the original. At least that's my thought process. We'll see if it actually works. Okay, so we can see how I got here, right? I feel like it's not a very appetizing logo. Like, why would they pick something that is it like hinting that that's the meat and then it's like boar's head? It seems like a terrible idea. I think these crazy fangs, those are an important detail. I mean, I sort of nailed it. It seems like there's a longer snout, so maybe we can exaggerate that aspect. So maybe I can just sort of like pull this over a little bit and then have it sort of come in. And maybe just pull this, the eyes back a little bit. I kind of made the snout a little too big, possibly. And then those teeth are sort of, oh, it looks like there are other teeth too, so we can still do that thing with the teeth. Then maybe just emphasize the smile with a little cheek thing. And then it's just more of this hair coming back. Yeah, I think we'll just use that to make the final version. I know it looks a little chaotic right now, but I think this will be enough for me to work from. Okay, the second hard one, third, is this bike guy. And mainly just because I don't know what the expression is going to look like, but I think I should keep it simple and sort of base it on the other style here. Like maybe this face, that character. I did ride a lot of bikes back then. Maybe I can reference this character for that face. So let's just, instead of making a new layer for this, let's just come down here and I'll do like a simplified version of this guy. This is me riding to work, which is something that I did. Okay, so let's just take that, shrink that down, and see if we can make it work on this character. Keep the side profile thing, and then just maybe use this hat. I feel like this is turning into a little bit of a telephone thing, where if I keep redrawing the same thing on this bike, but I think that's okay. All right, so I don't think I need to redraw the pizza or that face. I think I can just go to the tightened version. I guess we can just time lapse the tightened up drawings. All right, so I got my line work done for these drawings. Pretty happy with this as a set. Feels a little bit different than what I would normally do, but it was a lot of fun. To make this feel like a cohesive set, I'm gonna pick one color palette and color them all in that way. So what I'm gonna do is just set this as a reference layer and then just start dropping colors on another layer until I can sort of figure out what's gonna work. Just grab like an orangey yellow. Start with that. So if we do that, and then the boar head, maybe we'll keep the snout a different color. Maybe if I do the Rizo brushes, I could mix red and yellow and like a lighter value to do the skin tone. Well, I guess what I would just need to figure out is what other color, like can we do everything with the red and the yellow? I think if we could mix red, yellow, and blue to make like a brownish color for my hair, and blue we could use for, I think red, yellow, and blue, we'll just use primary colors, just keep it to 3. So I'm gonna do that. I'll check back in with you when I get it done. What do you think? I spent longer on this than I was anticipating. I'm a little exhausted, if I'm being perfectly honest, but I think I cracked my head right open. If you enjoyed this process of me improvising and figuring things out on the fly, then you're probably gonna like this video where I do it without any of this structure at all and just depend on my broken brain. What do you think about that? Go check out Tom's class. It's pretty great. Also, check out his podcast, Thoughts on Illustration. There's an episode with me on there. All right, good talk. I'll see you soon.